All right. Welcome everybody to our first ever Integrations Palooza. Wish we had a soundboard for this. This would be perfect.
Woo!
There we got David to help us out. Super excited, you guys. This is, like I mentioned, the first time we're ever doing this event. We have a week long packed with awesome sessions from different integrations, from smart pricing to smart locks, from AI tools to even accounting tools. We have a ton. Now, before we jump into some things, we're going to hear from our co-founders, Margot and David, but want to help you guys get the most out of this entire week. Like I mentioned, we have a ton of sessions, over 30 plus integration partners. And what's really going to make this event a success is the interaction from you guys. We want to know what questions you have, what you might need some help with, what can help improve your business. So, a couple things I want to go over to help you get the most. First thing being on the platform, on Livestorm here. Now, you guys are pretty familiar with video platforms, but some things I want to point out. The first one, at your bottom right of your screen, you'll see a tab called Questions. This is going to be, you guys, if you have any questions, comments, we're going to be monitoring this tab all week. We'll be bringing questions up live to our partners and saving them for the end for Q&As. And if we don't get to all your questions, we'll be able to follow up with you afterwards. So interact with us as much as you can in that box. We also, just to the right of that, have a chat tab. This is going to be more comments. I see Gordon has already put a comment in there. New clients signing in Newfoundland. Well, welcome, my Canadian friends. So just like Gordon, if you have any comments, feel free to interact with us there. Now, we do also want to, just like I mentioned, have you guys get the most out of this. And we want to know who we're talking to, get a little feel of how we can gear this the best towards you guys. So we're going to have a couple polls popping up. You'll see these popping up throughout the full week. First one asking if you're a Hostfully customer. And go ahead and submit that vote. I know we got one with Gordon there, so that's awesome. And also want to see, being the Integrations Palooza, how many integrations do you guys use? I personally use quite a bit myself in my own operations, and I also have quite a bit of channels that I connect to. So that's the last poll we're going to pop up, just seeing how many channels you guys connect with. And after you guys submit those polls, just pointing out one more thing on Livestorm here at the bottom right. There is a tab called Links. In that Links tab, you'll see a few different things in there. A really important one is our Palooza event guidebook. This is going to have every session throughout the whole week. So be sure to have that to follow along. You can join sessions right from there. I also have a link if you guys aren't registered to more sessions. Feel free to do that. We're going to be able to send you the recording if you do register. So go ahead and get on as many as you can. And of course, you're going to be hearing from the Hostfully team all week. Looks like we might have a few people that aren't Hostfully customers. So, if throughout the week, we'll have this link in there if you want to see a personalized demo or just ask some more questions about Hostfully directly. Now, you've heard a lot from me already. Introducing myself, my name is Mitch Foster. I'm our head of integrations and partnerships. So I'm obviously super stoked to be putting this event on. And I'm even more stoked to be kicking it off with our co-founders here, Margot Schmorak, our CEO, and David Jacoby, our president. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the mic to them and let them kick off this amazing week.
Thank you so much, Mitch. It's so awesome to be here, and I get to say hello. I will take my sunglasses off for a second so I can see everybody. I just wanted to say a big welcome and thank you to all of the people who are here. And I get to talk a little bit about our customers. So if you're new to Hostfully or if you've been here for some time, you may not know that we have just an amazing group of customers from all over the world. And without you, we would not be here today. So we are so grateful for all of our customers. And I just want to do a shout out to the customers who are on the meeting right now. We've got Alex, David, Mariana, Ethan, Victor, Julie, Doug, Gordon, Leonardo, Claire, Adana, Russell, Kayla, Robert, Thomas, Ian, Scarlett. There's more people. Rockerville Gold Town Lodging. Don't know your name, but thank you for joining. So thank you so much for getting on today and spending some time with us. We are really excited to be here, and we have a lot of not just people around the world, but a lot of properties that are being managed by our customers, over 50,000 properties worldwide. And we really pride ourselves on having a very large and vibrant customer base, and just so excited to have you here today. David, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's so exciting to have this Integration Palooza week. Mitch, thanks to you and congratulations to you for pulling this off. And it's good to chat with all our customers. So, we're doing our best to help you succeed. So I'm going to talk about some of our integrations, but first I want to remind you about all the resources we have available to you. We know property management and property management software, it's a lot. It can be complex. And we have a help center with over 200 articles. So check that out. We've got videos on there, lots of great stuff. You can always email support@hostfully.com, and we respond very quickly to that. We just launched Hostfully University last year, which has a whole bunch of courses. We're up to 4 right now, from general onboarding to guidebooks to reports. So check that out if you haven't. Office hours. Not everyone knows about this. Every day, if you've got a question and you want to speak to someone, you can hop into our office hours. We have experts who are ready to help you. We're going to follow up, by the way, and all these have links. So you're going to get this deck, this presentation, and you can see all the links to all this information. We just launched Next Level Onboarding. Every other week, we do a deep dive into a certain topic, reports, templates, and triggers. This week, it's guidebooks. Our Facebook users group, we have almost 2,000 members in there. Oftentimes, you guys, your colleagues, give better answers than we do. So don't be afraid to be part of that community and ask questions to everyone. We also want to hear from you. Margot will talk about this later. We have user voice where you can suggest ideas, vote on other ideas, and we also get feedback on those ideas and updates there. And then finally, our award-winning live online chat. 24/7, we have 96% customer satisfaction. We're very proud about that. We have teammates from all over the world, from Vietnam to Argentina to the US, ready to go to help answer your questions. All right. Now, since it is Integration Palooza week, we want to start by spending a minute talking about our partners. We love our partners. Thank you to all the partners who have built integrations into Hostfully. Many partners, we are the first property management software that they built an integration with. So we love kind of being experimental. We also love thinking outside the box with our partners. And we've been the first to launch some cool, creative ideas. Turno, for example, we were the first to provide their subscription cleaning and turnover management platform for free to all our customers. Wheelhouse, they offer awesome reports and dashboards for free. Even if you're not using them for dynamic pricing, you can still get cool features from Wheelhouse through Hostfully. Superhog, that's another great example. They have a Know Your Guest Lite feature where they do background checks for free for Hostfully customers, well, for the guests. And they send the guest risk score back into Hostfully, and you can see that in the pipeline. So lots of cool stuff we're doing with partners. I also want to give a special thank you to the over 30 partners who responded to be part of the Integrations Palooza week. We think this is the first of its kind in the industry, having a conference that focuses on all our partners. The response was overwhelming. We kind of sold out from the partner side right away. So thanks to everyone you see here. Also, a shout out to our major OTA partners. We know how important distribution, getting reservations is for property managers. We're proud to be the only property management software in the US and one of 4 in the world to be Preferred Plus for Airbnb, Premier for Booking.com, and Elite for Vrbo. That's the top tier status for each of those channels. I would say not only is that a testament to, frankly, how great our tech is, but also it's a testament to our partners, to our property managers, to you. A lot of what's considered into reaching these status is how great our partners are. Are you writing reviews after a guest leaves? Are guests giving good reviews for you? Are you growing? Are you responding to guest questions? Are you not canceling reservations? So we also have you to thank for these awesome status awards that we've received from the big channels. We are the first property management software to have integrated with Marriott Homes and Villas. And also we're thrilled to be live on Google. All right, the power of integrations. You know, thinking of integrations can be a bit overwhelming. We joke about how if you've seen the operations of one property manager, you've seen the operations of one property manager. Everyone manages their business differently, using the core of Hostfully and then adding on different other software vendors to help you scale and automate your business. We like to think of it in different categories, and maybe the best way is if I try to paint a picture. Think about this as you're thinking about which other webinars to participate in this week. Let's talk about the life cycle of a guest reservation that can be powered by integrations. So first, you're using dynamic pricing to optimize your revenue, your minimum night stay. And to be clear, it's not you doing revenue management or using dynamic pricing. That's software where you are also actively involved in fine-tuning things. So you've got your pricing, and now you're pushing that to the major OTA channels I just mentioned, as well as the long tail of lots of other channels that we integrate with, and your own direct booking site. And we have multiple partners to help you with your own direct booking site. Now, a reservation comes in, it gets made, it comes into Hostfully, and then we ping the smart lock provider that you're integrated with. A code gets created, that code gets sent back to Hostfully. Now, instead of emailing that code to the guests, you go one step further. You bring it into the guidebook, and a secure link for that guest gets created. And that's what you send to the guests. And you say, here's all the information you need to know about your trip. And it's got directions, it's got check-in details, it's got house information, it's got recommendations, and you know 100% of your guests are looking at that guidebook because it's got the access code. That's the only way they can get in. You are now providing a more professional experience. You are decreasing the number of questions you're going to get, and you could be earning revenue if you're upselling items in the guidebook as well. Now, while that's going on, you're also getting guest verification, background check through one of our integration partners, and you have insurance as well to cover yourself in case something goes bad. While the guest is in destination, once again, they're using the guidebook. Maybe you have a integration in place to collect emails like StayFi or Minute for monitoring noise. Then when the guest leaves, you're using turnover management, cleaning management software to make sure the place is ready for the next guest. Whew, that was a lot. And I didn't even mention all of our partners. We've got other categories as well. We've got a few AI partners that we are about to launch with that we'll be talking this week as well. So lots of fun stuff to think about. All right, switching gears. This is the first time I think Margot and I are really dressing our customers in a kickoff like this, so we just want to spend a minute talking about Hostfully, give you guys a little bit of background. Margot put these pictures in. Thanks, Margot. That's my son staring at us on his birthday many years ago. I can't believe we're about 9 years old, Margot. And it seems like this picture is about from 9 years ago. On the right, little did I know we were getting ready for Integrations Palooza back then. But long story short, it all started with me having an in-law unit that I started renting out on Airbnb. And like yourself, like many hosts, I spent hours one night making a really ugly Microsoft Word document guidebook, banging my head against the wall, thinking there's got to be a better way to do this. Little did I know that that would lead to where we are now. Margot and our kids went to the same preschool. She was in transition, and we went out to lunch one day and talked about this idea, and one thing led to another, right, Margot?
That's right. Yeah. So I was in transition coming from a company called ServiceSource, where we were doing recurring revenue management solutions. And at ServiceSource, I had this moment where I looked around the room and thought to myself, these people are all so smart, and they could be doing so much more. And I think we could create a better company where people just love doing their jobs and they feel fully activated at work. And so I was looking for a partner in making that amazing culture. And David had this idea around optimizing the guest experience in short-term rentals. And we just kept going. So we've kept asking the question, how can we service our customers better? How can we, and how can we just be more helpful. We ended up merging with another company called Orbi Rental, and that's the picture here on the right. And Orbi Rental was a PMS company at the time we'd been working with closely. And so we brought on a third co-founder, Steph, who's the guy standing next to me in this photo. I'm like very pregnant in this picture too. I don't know if you can see, but anyway, we merged the two companies together, and then we got to this amazing team. And you may have seen us at conferences wearing these jackets that David and I are wearing today. Yeah, I think we've used these for 2 conferences now. So this is like, not our uniform, but it may as well be, because one of the things we try to do at Hostfully is to have a lot of fun, and also to create a lot of community. And so I thought it might be interesting for people to know on the call just a little bit more about the overall Hostfully team, because this is who you're working with on a regular basis if you are our customers. We have over 85 team members around the world, 17% of which manage their own short-term or vacation rental property. We have a big focus on hiring people from all over the world that have different demographic backgrounds as well. So 66% of our team identify as people of color, 14% identify as LGBTQIA+. Half of our board is female. We have a lot of first-generation college students on the team. We have 5% of the people who are living with a disability. We operate in, we have 15 different countries where people are living. And one of the most impactful things about Hostfully is that 43% of our team are actually caretakers. And so this means that they're either taking care of a child or a parent at home. And if you've been a caretaker, and actually you all are caretakers because you're taking care of your business, but I think you can understand that this will really create more understanding between someone who has a lot of responsibility on their plate and somebody who doesn't. And so this is a really important part about our team, is that we built in this culture where people have lives outside of work and responsibilities outside of work. And we want to really honor that. So it's an important part of the culture that we built in the team. And we think that that translates well to serving customers too. One other thing to note is that we have been carbon neutral since 2021, because we also want this company to be a positive contribution to the planet overall. And as a result of our products and our company, we've won a lot of awards. So we won both Keystone Awards in 2019 and 2021. We won a Shorties Award for Best Property Management System in 2023. And we won a number of other awards around the horn, just from different software award companies, I guess you could call them. But it's really not just about products with Hostfully, even though, of course, we care about products and we know that's how we translate our value to you, is through our products. It is really about people. And, going back to this original thinking that David and I had about building a culture that really celebrated the whole person, we try to keep our messaging and our marketing with customers very people-centric. So we're super proud of this kind of marketing where we're highlighting customers. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. We use SpongeBob SquarePants in our marketing. We use memes and humor, and hopefully if you've experienced some of that. We think that life is too short not to have fun, so we try to incorporate that. And of course, we celebrate our own team members. On the right, we're showing Trin, who's a valued team member who actually was a Hostfully customer before he started working at Hostfully. So I just think these are some fun things to know about the companies that you're spending your energy working with and also entrusting your business with. And we just really appreciate it. We take it very seriously. And we know that it is, at the end of the day, about people. It's about you. It's about your owners. It's about your guests. And we want to make sure that we're doing our very best to honor that and respect that, and also have a good relationship with you while we do this challenging work together. So thank you. I'll move it over to you, David.
All right. Because we've got this rock concert of a week, we got to talk about some of our greatest hits. We thought we'd remind you about some of the features that we've put out the past half year or less. We're always doing our best to innovate and provide new features to help you automate and scale your business. So I'll spend a couple minutes reminding you. We're very excited about our new direct booking site. We've done a major overhaul on that, made a bunch of changes, some cool features with how we display the photos. Mobile was a major lift, so it's mobile friendly now. Guests can easily book it from their phone, make reservations. Our new calendar view, we hope you've all been enjoying that. It's kind of hard to remember our old calendar view now. We've got 2 different toggles as a way to view the reservations, and also for you to be able to update pricing and minimum stay in bulk. You can filter into a group based on tagging the properties and then update the pricing and minimum stays for that group all at once. It's mobile friendly. It's easy to scroll back and forth. We hope you all have been enjoying that. Speaking of mobile, we are constantly working on our app. It's only been a couple of years now, and we're making major improvements to that. Recently, we released an upgraded version of the inbox in there where you can add templates, you can add attachments, you can take a photo and send it right away. Additionally, calendar view for individual properties. So you can go into one property and see when it's booked or not, see what the prices are, the minimum night stay, and add reservations, customize those quotes if you want, or also add blocks. And we're very excited to announce that coming this week, we have a new dashboard. So we know you've been wanting a new dashboard. And yeah, it is finally a dashboard. So you can see check-ins and check-outs and new inquiries, important metrics like ADR and RevPAR. And then you can drill deeper into that with our new analytics coming out later this week as well. So constantly refresh your PMP version. You're going to see it soon, hopefully Wednesday or Thursday. And we've got detailed analytics, and you can filter by date ranges, by whether the date the reservation was made or the check-in date by certain properties, and see lots of information that'll help you run your business better. Let's not forget our beautiful digital guidebooks, our first foray into AI. We have a AI itinerary builder. So guests just enter in a little bit of information about their trip, and they get a beautiful suggested itinerary about what they can do based on how long it is, what their budget is, what they like to do. We also have a beautiful landing page so you can set a great first impression of providing 5-star hospitality right away. We make it super easy for you to add a page that looks like this, and that's the first thing the guests will see. And so much more. I'm not going to go into all the details, but we're pushing multiple releases every week, from small little feature changes, adding a new amenity, some bug fixes, security. We just released 2-factor authentication. So if you have not turned that on, please go to agency settings and turn 2-factor authentication on now. That is very important. And that's some of our recent hits. What about our future hits, Margot?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked. Hang on, I'm tracking our slides in 2 places. Okay, so first off, we really want to hear from you on the features that David just mentioned, and also on what new features you would love to see. And we have a couple different ways you can provide feedback, and the best way is through user voice. So I don't know if anyone on the call has been using user voice, but basically it's like a public list of requests for the product, and those can be voted up or down. So it's a great way to see if other people are requesting that same functionality, and also to put your weight behind some of the suggestions that may already be in there. So please make sure that you go to our user voice link. Thank you, Mitch, for supplying that. And you can give us feedback on our product roadmap, because our product roadmap is as good as the feedback that we get from you, and also our own research together. So we just really love to hear that. Of course, you can also engage with customer success and customer support around features. But honestly, it's the best to do it through user voice, because it gives us a more quantitative view of what's going on. But up next on our roadmap, this is a sneak peek at some of the things that are going to be coming in the next 3 to 6 months. We are going to have multi-unit inventory management, and this means that you can manage your properties like you would in a hotel, where you can swap reservations between one property and another, and do all sorts of important things that are necessary for a more scaled property management business. So please make sure to check updates from us on multi-unit inventory management. It's something we've been working very hard on, because it is a very complex feature, actually set of features to launch, and we are very, very excited to see that coming. We also are going to be working on more AI. And so David just showed the itinerary builder in our guidebooks. We're looking at how AI can help us across the board when it comes to automating your operations, whether it's messaging or just other bookings management. There's a lot of opportunity that we can use with AI, and we're really curious what you think, how AI can apply to your business. So please make sure to give us as much feedback as possible, because this is such a new area, and we want to make sure to focus on the right stuff. We are also going to be maintaining our strong channel integrations. Like David highlighted, we are at the highest level of partnership with Airbnb, Booking.com, and Vrbo. And we are going to be leaning into our channel integrations moving forward. Of course, maintaining those high levels of integrations with those key partners, but also continuing to offer you more and more different channels to work with. We know that getting bookings is the most important thing in your business. And so we want to make sure to enable that. And that is a huge priority for us. And while we were preparing for this presentation, I thought it might be interesting to note that probably about like 25 to 30% of our developer time is actually spent on maintaining those integrations. So it's quite a bit of work on our side, and it's a really big investment. And we believe and know that it is important. But when you're thinking about overall software roadmaps, you may not realize like how much weight this one has. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that, and also that that we will be continuing to commit in a really big way to this very, very core part of the product. We also have a new API, and if you're using our open API, that's wonderful. But for those of you who aren't, you may not know that it offers a lot of configuration. Actually, the API does today already before the API 3.0. But what we're doing is we're actually kind of improving and enhancing the way our API can work for different partners. And we've started the migration process for a lot of our integration partners already. This API is sort of being refined right now. So this one's actually very close to being completed. And customers will also have access to the API as well. So there will be more ways to configure, more optionality, more choices that you can make around how data is handled for your business. And you can integrate with more specificity across the board, honestly. So again, look forward to hearing any feedback on that if you are using our API. And then we also have some really cool integrations coming up. And as I think you've seen so far in the presentation, we care about creating our own core functionality within the product. And we also care a lot about what functionality our partners can bring. And one of the areas that we see the most cool stuff coming is in AI. There are several companies that are centered just on AI, just for our industry. And we want to make sure that we're giving you the maximum amount of flexibility possible to be able to partner with those companies. So I have 3 examples here of companies that we are going to be integrating with. The first is Host AI. The second is Guest Guru, and the third is PrimeHost.ai. These are all companies that are focused on automating operations using AI, whether it's with messaging or suggesting how to manage those properties. We are going to be offering those integrations coming soon. If they're not live already, not all of them. But I actually was chatting with a customer over the weekend. He was asking, when is the Host AI integration happening? That's a priority for me because I want to be at the forefront of the innovation in this industry. And that's something that's coming, I think, this week, right, David? David's nodding. So I'm going to assume it's coming soon. Anyway, we're really excited about partnering with these types of companies because, again, they'll keep you at the forefront of what's going on. And you don't have to just rely on Hostfully, actually, to do this. You can also work with our integration partners to do what you want to do in your business. All right. And finally, we also have some mobile features that are coming. We have worked really hard on the mobile app. And for those of you who are using it, you may have noticed that we've just been moving on at a clip. There's new features happening all the time in that mobile app that are really foundational. And I use a lot of mobile apps, and I noticed that a lot of them don't move as fast as ours. So we're really proud of how much we've done. Some new things that we have coming in the mobile app are an enhanced order view where you can see with more specificity what's in each booking and be able to look at the details in there. We also are going to be having more control over your notifications. So whether you like how you receive notifications on your phone, whether they're by each message or you can toggle them on and off with more levels of detail. And then we also have some multi-unit support coming along with our multi-unit feature set that will also be happening in mobile. So look out for that. That's the most concrete thing we're talking about today. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of viewpoint into our upcoming roadmap. We've got a lot on the horizon, and we're really excited for all the more power that it's going to give you as a property manager in running your business. All right. So Mitch, I think this is you, right?
Yeah, wow. There's quite an exciting time to be at Hostfully. There's so much going on that you forget about some of the awesome stuff we're doing. So, yeah, guys, we got a lot of good stuff going at Hostfully. Like Margot mentioned, couple cool AI products we got coming up. Host AI is actually presenting here in about 30 minutes or so. And if you guys aren't registered, again, that links tab down at your bottom right, you can find that session in your event guidebook, or you can register for more sessions there. But of course, don't stop there. Join as many as you can. I mentioned we're going to be able to send you a recording if you do register. So there's so many nuggets throughout this week, and I can't wait to really dive in. And we're just kicking it off. So appreciate you guys jumping in on the chat. And for the questions too, again, if you guys can interact with those as much as possible, that's going to help all of us get the most out of it. So with that being said, pretty much we're ready to wrap up this first session. I'm not sure if you guys have too many questions, but we'll stick on here for a little bit under the questions tab if you guys do have anything. I see Marla asked about an API, and Marla, that's basically how the platforms communicate with each other in the simplest terms.
Yeah, you can think about the API as it doesn't access all of the core functionality, but it's like a layer of protocols, a layer of like ways that you can have two different software companies talk to each other. And it's in a really standardized way so that the data is passed in a very, it's passed in a secure and efficient way so it doesn't fail. And so APIs have really transformed the software industry in the last 10 to 15 years because they're allowing companies to work together in ways that they weren't able to before. And one of the things we always tell customers is that when they're talking to software companies, one great question to ask is, can I see some documentation for your API and when was it last updated? It will give you a really good sense of how fast that company is innovating and what you should be expecting from them in terms of, feature enhancements and continued growth of their product.
Great suggestion. That's a great question to ask. Gordon, I see a question from you. He asks, if I'm registered to the main event, do I need to register for each? Gordon, you should be registered to all for that. So you can follow along in that event guidebook, and we have a link to each session right there. So it'll be super easy for you to join all the upcoming sessions.
Yeah, thank you, Leonardo. Just major shout out to Mitch, who's organized this whole event. He's worked so hard to coordinate all of the different partners to come this week. So we're really glad that you're all able to join and that you're going to be getting a lot of value for it. So thanks for registering. And we're really excited to put this on for the community.
I see a question about Operto and DAC. Operto has purchased DAC to go along with Connect and Teams. Timeline on when DAC will be added as a direct integration. That's a great question. I'd reach out to Operto about that as well. So Operto already has an integration, so you can possibly turn that on and Operto can pull information. So whether it appears as DAC in our integration zone or just Operto and it's being done in a different way, I'm not 100% sure. So we'll check with Operto, and I encourage you to talk with them as well if that's an important integration that you want to see.
Well said, David. Well said. It looks like Leonardo's typing one more time. Might have a few more questions coming in. Let's see. Robert asks, is the AI hype real? Or is it hype or is it real? I'm not sure I'm reading the question right, but I think Robert's asking, is it worth all the hype? Is it going to be cool?
It's a great point / question. So we are at peak hype cycle when it comes to AI. And I think that there's a lot of excitement and probably unrealistic thinking of how fast it's going to make an impact on our day-to-day life. But I can guarantee that over the next 10 years, we will see a huge transformation of the way technology works and the way that we're used to consuming things. Within our own little industry, is it overhyped? Probably, yeah. I'm on the content committee for a bunch of events right now. And like last year, it was like, we have to talk about AI. And then it was like, well, what should we talk about? And it was like, I don't know, you come up with something. So I think it is probably overhyped in our industry. But when we see what it can do specifically for natural language processing, which is also like the acronym is NLP, it can like take human language and create other human language from it. That's pretty powerful. And I think that when it comes to communications, like that's going to be a big change for this industry first. A lot of the dynamic pricing companies have been using some form of AI in their products already for some time. So it's sort of like shades of gray. It's not a black or white thing, but I do think it probably is overhyped right now.
Robert, I also encourage you to join, if you're not already, go to our Facebook users group and ask about it there. See how other property managers are currently using AI. I think it'd be a great conversation to hear from other property managers about.
Awesome. Well, we'll take one more question. I see Leonardo asked if we're planning on improving our QuickBooks integration. David, maybe you have any updates on that?
Happy to talk about that. So we love our QuickBooks integration. We know we have lots of users who are very happy with how it is. And just like I joked about earlier, if you see the operations of one property manager, you've seen the operations of one property manager. I'd say that applies to accounting. If you've seen the accounting and the setup of one property manager, you've seen the setup of one. Everyone manages it differently, and it's really complex. So we're trying to provide you as many tools as possible to handle your accounting, not just with QuickBooks and the integration we have in place. Also, we've seen folks use Zapier to make a more custom integration with QuickBooks that meets their needs 100% in QuickBooks specifically. We also have partners like Extent Team and Simplify in clearing. We also have detailed reports where you can pull that information and easily upload it. So we know it can get tough, and we're always working on fine-tuning both QuickBooks as well as, more importantly, having a whole ecosystem to make accounting easy for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, David. Appreciate the update. And we're about up. We went over a little bit of time, but wanted to make sure we got to some questions for you guys. But I can't wait to see everyone join in sessions this week. You'll be seeing me. You'll be seeing a bunch of Hostfully team members, and of course, a bunch of cool integrations. So with that, we'll sign off from this session, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.